This is Anthony Baum giving my final presentation for Urban Philosophical Dilemmas. I've been looking at Thomas Nagel's article, um, and I found this underlying theme that I don't think he thinks that something is perverted if nobody's being harmed by it. That is, assuming that everybody is fully aware of what's going on and everybody was consenting. And this is like any kind of sexual relationship, really, not just in the typical sense of the word. Now, it's my opinion that he's right about this, and that if it doesn't harm anyone, that it's not a problem. And I think it's a good argument because it's hard to fault why something would be wrong if it doesn't cause harm to anything. And in utilitarian terms, that would be the end of the argument. But that wouldn't be a very deep argument, and it wouldn't be very persuasive. He'd just be expecting you to believe it. So he's provided a couple of devil's advocate kind of parts to it, starting with the Roman Catholicism argument that using contraception is perverted because it perverts the natural course of God's will. And for them, that's really the strongest point about this whole perversion thing. And Nagel makes it look almost like a negative thing that they think this, and almost ridicules the argument. And it just adds to his own argument, which I think is good. And then he uses Sartre's work slightly differently. It's opposed to his own opinions, but he takes part of Sartre's argument and turns it into something to benefit his own, which I think is it's a skill that not many people possess. And for him to take an opposing argument and turn it to his own benefit is, I think, very effective. And I think it's almost more effective than using the Roman Catholic example, because it's not ridiculing, it's purely just building on a point. And I think that's probably the strongest part of the argument, that he can do this. Now, in terms of the actual argumentative theme I found, like I said, I agree with it, and for the most part of the time I'm reading it, it's matching my opinion. So I think as I'm going along, I just agree with it. Just to back it up, really, a couple of examples I've come across in past classes is that if a man wants to have relations with a bicycle, per se, in their basement where nobody can see it, it's only him, only he's going to know about it, nobody else will ever know about it, then it's not perverted. It's only perverted in the sense that other people would see it as perverted. Um, and if nobody's there to see it, then I don't think that it's perverted. And that's the point that I think Nagel is trying to make throughout the whole thing. And it's difficult to fault. And for his argumentative reasoning and his use of the opposition arguments, I think that his argument is very good.